Hello, everybody. This is Maya Gobara, also known as Maya the Mystic. And today I'm here to talk to you about common myths about divine feminine energy. There are so many misconceptions about it in the spiritual space that I just want to take the time to help set the record straight and to bring some balance into the conversation. Let's get started. Right, so I, as a, pansexual, queer, uh, poly woman, uh, and I use the term woman lightly because my pronouns are she and they. There's these misconceptions about divine feminine energy only existing or only being prominent in people who are born with vaginas. And so a lot of the conversations around it are they push out people with other identities, and that is just not correct. Divine feminine energy rests within all of us, and it can be cultivated within all of us, and it is a very lopsided and closed-minded conversation when it is only limited to people who were born with vaginas. This is just not true. I've seen plenty of cis het men who embody feminine energy very well. My queer family, my non-binary family, my trans family, feminine energy resides within all of us, and we are able to cultivate it and elevate it or suppress it. Sometimes it's already suppressed and all of that stuff because of the culture that we live in that is very non-friendly to feminine energy. At least non-friendly to feminine energy that does not benefit patriarchy, right? And so I'm just here to say, let's end this myth and let's start to have more inclusive language when we are talking about divine feminine energy, because right now it is very exclusatory and I don't like that, and it just feels very icky, very, very icky. Because what about my trans family? What about those who don't identify as either? They're like, do they not have feminine energy? Do they not have masculine energy? Where do they fit in this conversation? And because they do fit in this conversation, because we all fit in this conversation, the conversations do need to change. Number two, the idea that feminine energy isn't dominant. The idea that feminine energy isn't dominant. For those of you who do not know me, I am a dominatrix lifestyle and pro. And when I am heavily in my feminine energy, the way that it comes through is very domineering, right? But there's this soft power behind what I do, but it's very dominant. And there's this idea that we're always teaching women to be soft. Be soft. Feminine energy, here's how you be softer. Be lighter. No, you don't have to do that. You do not have to do that. When I'm working with clients, I hone in on what's already a part of the personality and we cultivate that, right? So that you're not becoming this cookie cutter person. And we're going to talk about that. This archetypal person that you just are not. And I really just keep my people from doing that. I don't want you to lean into a personality that just doesn't belong to you, or to even cultivate a personality that just doesn't feel good for you. That is not sustainable. And that's one of the quickest ways to find yourself depressed, to find yourself in situations that you just are not ready for, or that you're not equipped for, because you are trying on personality traits that just don't belong to you. There's nothing wrong with trying them on, but keeping them just because the collective says that you should keep them, or just because someone says that this is what femininity looks like, it's bullshit. So if you want to, and I'm just going to be very simple here. If you want to put on baggy pants with a loose fitted top, or if you want to play around with looks, with androgyny, or whatever, that doesn't mean it's not rooted in feminine energy. It doesn't mean that you can't be dominant. You can be very dominant. I'm thinking about matriarchal societies where the women are very dominant. The women have a lot of power. They're not shrinking. They're not pretending to be something that they're not. And yet they are very, very feminine. And we see this across all spectrums. And so if someone is constantly telling you oh, you have to be softer, you have to do this, and it just doesn't feel good for you, don't listen to that, and find someone or find resources that can help you to be able to tap into your feminine energy in a way that actually honors your energy, so that you can fully embody this without it feeling disgusting to you. Okay? And number 3, okay, that it doesn't share traits of the masculine. Okay, we are living in this binary world where people are saying it has to be this or it has to be that. But if you've ever looked at yin yang symbols, the symbols, you will see there is a little bit of black in the white and a little bit of white in the black. Because there are some areas where masculinity and femininity will intersect. And so sometimes we try to make such big, grand, sweeping differences that we end up losing the sacredness of what this is truly about. And I'm going to get into that soon. Number 4, that this is a cookie cutter experience. That the divine feminine needs to look like a cis heterosexual woman in a long black dress, like that goddessy image, or that she needs to have, clothes up to her neck, skirts down below the waist, that she needs to look like a Stepford wife, and that's divine feminine energy. No, it looks like whatever the fuck you want it to look like. It looks like however you embody that energy, and not allowing other people to dictate what you should and should not do. There's a level of being able to trust yourself and being able to trust your own expression that has to come forth. That's divine feminine energy. That flowing, that being without wondering about what this person has to say or what that person has to say. You don't need necessarily a to-do list when it comes to embodying your divine feminine energy. You just need a little bit of a map, and that map is going to lead you back to yourself always. It's not going to cookie cutter you. All right, and to my 5th and final point, whenever we see divine feminine energy, usually it is attached to how to get a partner. And so my 5th one is that the divine feminine energy, the myth, is that it should be used to get a partner. Remember earlier when I was talking about the sacredness? There's something very sacred about divine feminine energy, about divine masculine energy, about embodying these archetypal primordial energies. And it is so far beyond just trying to snag a partner. This is about self-development. This is about self-mastery. This is about enjoying your best life. This is about enjoying yourself. This is about leading an aligned life that feels good to you. This is about creating the life and the life experiences that you want. Do not defile this by only trying to embody the divine feminine energy in order to snag a partner, because it don't have anything to do with them. This is all about your relationship to yourself, how you view the world, and how you experience the world. Will a mate come? Sure. But should that be the goal? Absolutely not. And so don't get caught up in the how to embody your divine feminine energy so that, right? Allow your experiences to be fully embodied and without attaching them to other outcomes. Let divine feminine energy be its own reward, so that you can fully experience it, so that you can fully express it, so that you can fully engage with life and stop putting stipulations on everything. Because what's going to happen if you embody this energy, you do all the things, you follow all the rules, right? And then you don't get what you want. You don't get who you want. You're going to be disappointed. And it's not to say that you're not going to get who you want and get what you want, because you absolutely can and will. I do believe in the power of manifestation, but making sure that these two things are not connected, okay? Disconnect them from each other and let them be their own things. And when it comes to embodying that feminine energy, let that be for you, for your own experiences. All right? So, I have thoroughly enjoyed sharing this with you. Don't forget to like, to comment, and to subscribe, so that you can continue to get my videos. Along with that, I have the Sacred Hoe Collective. It is a group for femmes and non-binaries who believe in love and sex and magic. If you are ready to get into alignment and to fully embody the Sacred Hoe archetype, you need to join us, because we're doing everything from spiritual work to sensual work to sexual work. And it is where your sacredness is honored. I hope to see you on the other side. Until then, I will see you in the next video. Bye.